Hey, welcome back to the Cybersecurity Whisperer. It's been a few weeks, been crazy busy traveling, and happy to be back with you and happy to be back at home for 1 week for Thanksgiving week. So, hope everyone is preparing for a super great time relaxing and spending some time with your family this week. Certainly, no shortage of stories to comb through, starting with this is an interesting one. We always say from the social engineering aspect, if you get a spam call or a phishing call and you're not sure because the caller ID says it's someone you know, it's always best to hang up and call back the person at the number you know is correct. And specifically when we're talking about like when you get a call from your bank or maybe from your cell phone provider, again, call them back at the number on their website. Well, if you don't know the number and you Google it, bad actors are now masquerading as customer service reps to steal consumer data this week. So last month, LastPass warned its customers about a social engineering campaign that uses fake reviews to circulate a phony customer service number operated by threat actors. Again, these guys never stop. So think about it. The password manager application company said that this was back late October, early November, that reviews, they would put online reviews and they would follow a similar format, each encouraging users to either go online or dial the trick number to get customer service assistance. Think about this from a password vault company. Users who attempted to dial the bogus number found across multiple 5-star reviews on LastPass's Chrome Web Store app page. They've been greeted by a bad actor who has attempted to direct them to a malicious website. This isn't the only one. LastPass isn't the only company that is leveraged in these fake number scheme. They've also used for companies like Roku, PayPal, Netflix, and Verizon. So again, these threat actors have been using fake customer service numbers to haggle victims for their information directly. So again, social engineering. And this also happened when someone called a United Airlines customer service number. But again, it was a number controlled by a scammer who was on the hunt for banking information. And the number was retrieved from Google's AI-generated summary. So if you're going to call a vendor, always make sure you're calling a number that's locatable on the actual company's website. Got to be careful, these bad guys. Microsoft had its Ignite conference this past week and announced a bunch of course, new initiatives. One of them was called the Windows Resiliency Initiative. And they said they will be empowering IT administrators with great tools during critical times, that's one of their top priorities. And their first step is born out of the learnings from the July CrowdStrike incident with the announcement of what they're calling quick machine recovery. Now, this feature will enable IT administrators to execute targeted fixes from Windows updates on PCs, even when machines are unable to boot, which is what happened during the CrowdStrike incident. They got blue screens and without needing physical access to the PC. So this is huge. This remote recovery will unblock your employees from broad issues much faster than what's been possible in the past. This will be available to the Windows Insider Program community in early 25. Microsoft also announced something. I just don't think they think through some of these. Remember, they had something about the screen recording as well last year. Remember that? Here's another one that they announced at Ignite. I'm not sure they thought through this. They said they will soon let you clone your voice in Microsoft Team meetings. Now, again, you would think this might be good for what they're saying. They plan to let Teams users clone their voices so they can have their voice speak to other meetings attendees in different languages. They announced this again on Tuesday at Ignite. They're calling this like an interpreter, a tool for Microsoft Teams that delivers real-time speech-to-speech interpretation capabilities is starting again in early 25. People using Teams for meetings will be able to use the interpreter to simulate their voice in up to 9 different languages. They said, imagine being able to sound just like you, but in a different language. So again, this is real-time speech-to-speech translation during meetings, and you can opt to have it simulate your voice for a more personal, engaging experience, which sounds great, but think about the deep fakes and the voice phishing. Just not sure that's a good idea. Now, here's an interesting one from a business email compromise. I think most of us think of business email compromises when we're talking about like large bank transactions, paying invoices. But here the hackers, they stole MLB star Chris Bryant's $200,000 Lamborghini by using a business email compromise and just rerouting delivery. It's fascinating. Investigators eventually discovered that the transport company did fall victim to business email compromise, what they describe. This is, of course, a sophisticated scheme allowing the suspects to arrange unauthorized transport of vehicles nationwide. and it enabled the bad actors to reroute the car to another destination in Las Vegas. However, the cops used license plate recognition cameras, and they were able to retrace the route taken by the truck and the trailer that transported the Lamborghini as it arrived in the Vegas area on September 30th. And then a week later, on October 7th, they retrieved the car, they recovered it, and apprehended multiple suspects. And it turned out to be a really good thing for the police, as they received information on other individuals involved. And that paved the way for the discovery of 2 additional stolen vehicles, multiple fraudulent VIN packages, fake registration documents, key fobs, and VIN switching tools. And so, kudos there in the end. But again, business email compromise from the transport company. Got to use multi-factor and get some malware detection tools, some really good advanced email security tools. Now, here's something I never thought I would be saying. You think about these terms. This week, we learned about something called AI pimping. I'm like, what in the world is that? Well, Instagram is flooded with hundreds of AI-generated influencers who are stealing videos from real models and adult content creators, giving them AI-generated faces and monetizing their bodies with links to dating sites, Patreon, OnlyFans competitors, and various AI apps. This has really exploded in popularity, showing Instagram is unable or unwilling to stop the flood of AI-generated content on its platform and protect the human creators on Instagram, who say they are now competing with AI content in a way that is impacting their ability to make a living. They reviewed more than 1,000 AI-generated Instagram accounts and Discord channels where the people who make this content, they share tips and discuss strategy, and several guides that explain how to make money by AI pimping. It's now trivially easy to make these accounts and monetize them using an assortment of off-the-shelf AI tools and apps. And some of these apps are hosted on, of course, the official Apple App Store and Google Play stores. And this investigator showed that what was once a niche problem on the platform, it's really industrialized in scale and shows what social media may become in the near future. It's a space where AI-generated content eclipses that of humans. So they talked to one adult content creator who promotes her work on Instagram. She said, that she's directly competing with these AI ripoff accounts, many of which use photographs and videos stolen from, real creators, and that while there may be other changes to Instagram's algorithm that may have impacted this, since the explosion of AI-generated influencer accounts, her reach has went down tremendously from an average of 1 to 5 million views a month, not cracking 1 million in the last 10 months, and sometimes coming in under 500,000 views. So just, again, fascinating, all the different things that AI is being used for, good and bad, as we knew would be the case. Now, here's something that, you talk about the bad guys and ransomware. And so one of the great things to protect yourself is using backup programs and air gapping. But when the backup companies such as this have a 0 day and then they can encrypt your backups, that's not a good thing. So Veeam is a backup software, cloud-based backup software. Well, they probably do on-prem as well, but they had a critical CVE targeted by a new ransomware variant in the Veeam backup and replication software. And the cyber criminal group previously found this undocumented ransomware, and they're using similar tactics and techniques. And they were involved in the exploitation of the same vulnerability last month. And if you're using Veeam, they released this update to Veeam version 12.2 back on August 28th. And they're, encouraging you to patch. And even if you've patched, they were able to reverse engineer this and use a similar vulnerability to continue to encrypt your data. So they created a new account. They created an account called Point. Now they've created another account called Point 2. It's like using a compromised VPN appliance to leverage, the vulnerability and get into your Veeam software. So always you've got to be on top of this. It's a never-ending battle here. Also this week, the fintech Finastra, they confirmed that they had a data breach. They're one of the largest financial software firms in the world, and they warned customers that an attacker stole an unknown quantity of data, and they're offering it for sale on the dark web. They said on November 7th they detected unusual activity in one of their internal secure SFTP platforms, and they immediately launched an investigation, and they hired a third-party security firm, and they went ahead and did isolate and contain the platform. And it was limited, they said, just to one platform, no lateral movement. And they did notify their customers on November 8th, and they continue to update them. And they said the intrusion appears to have begun maybe a week before they detected it. And so, it's still not bad. It only took them a week. That's not horrible. And they said they suspect stolen credentials were used in the attack. And so, again, I'm assuming if that means no multi-factor was used, if someone was just able to phish or steal, from the info stealer username and password. So more to come on that. And then finally, we end with something, again, it's challenging. The Coast Guard is warning of continued risks in Chinese port cranes. So you think about the U.S. Coast Guard, they're warning that Chinese-made ship-to-shore cranes, those cranes unloading those big containers, they have built-in vulnerabilities that enable remote access and control, and they're really urging these shipping operators across the country to adopt enhanced security protocols. Again, these cranes are manufactured by state-owned Chinese companies, and they account for nearly 80% of all heavy lift cranes used to load and unload container ships at American ports. Their design can include remote control, and they're really saying, we need additional measures to prevent a transportation security incident. So, this is really heightened because there's threat intelligence related to the People's Republic of China's interest in disrupting U.S. critical infrastructure. So with that, I do want to say happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has a blessed Thanksgiving, and stay safe on Black Friday. When you're getting all these texts and instant messages and direct messages and social media about all these phenomenal Black Friday sales, a lot of them are too good to be true, and they're going to scam you. So only go to reputable websites when you're purchasing things online. And when you're going to get scammed if you respond to a text about a discount code, I would just urge you not to use it. So, comment, send me any questions. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Take care.